Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 3 of What If Naruto had all the chakra of Indra, Ashura and Hagoromo. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also I post a brand new movie over on Anime King of What If Naruto was a magical creature, a crossover between Naruto and One Piece. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy a full movie guys. And also don't forget to stay tuned for the rest of the What Ifs coming your way in the other channels. If you're new, indeed the 4th them Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Prince, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, check them out and yeah, enjoy. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new so I can welcome you personally. So without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. So, the last part that we left off. Naruto was wrestling his kunai against the Anvu's throat that was watching him. However, he soon come to realize who it was, as Itachi had spoken about him on several occasions. It was Shisui, the teleporter, as he got the moniker from his special Sunshin Jutsu. The way he used it in battle, it was amazing, as Naruto and him got into talk. Shisui was surprised that for someone so young, Naruto's mind was already so advanced. The way he thought, the way he experienced the world, it was just a lot more than he expected in the slightest. As he offered to walk Naruto home, as Naruto made his way with him, the both of them talked as they quickly became friends. It turns out that the Hidden Stone Ninjas were moving in on Konoha territory. As they were going through the Land of Grass on several occasions, they've been spotted, even though the leaf had sent them a warning. Oniki had took himself out of it, saying that they were missing names because they were moving around with a headband that was slashed out. But Minato knew that this was a false, as Oniki was using this, so he would not be liable if they actually got captured or anything. So he knew that something was at play here. That is why he assigned Shisui to watch Naruto. However, Naruto did not go to bed. Instead, he made his way towards the library. When Minato arrived, he saw his son as he watched him. However, what he saw his son did was rather surprising, as Naruto was able to perform elemental nature right there and then. Minato was shocked by that, as he realized how far Naruto had reached in his studies. So that is why tomorrow, the next day, he had called Kakashi up. Kakashi arrived as Kakashi was skeptical about the elemental studies already, but seeing it on full display, he guessed he shouldn't be surprised. Something else also happened as well, as Naruto was able to meet the Kyuubi. After telling his father that he already knew, he told his father that he could never hate him no matter what, as he understand now after deliberation and thinking about it. However, he was having dreams about the fox and this man that was floating off the ground. So they went in the mindscape. That is where Minato was surprised by actually what happened, as Naruto and the fox bumped fists together, giving Naruto a spectral look of everything that the fox had witnessed. As Naruto asked if he could do it with his father as well, allowing Minato to see everything. Minato was taken aback, shocked by this new discovery, as there and then something was created between them, a bond between the three of them, but more so Naruto and Kurama, as they knew each other's names. The fox had been able to speak to the sage when he had been gifted Naruto his power, as he told him to help him because this boy was a boy that will change everything. So it wasn't hard for them to become good friends. Some time passed after that, as Naruto was now 7 years old. He was having a brutal training session with Kakashi. The both of them had trained severely over the past couple of years, as he go to show how much Naruto had grown in strength, given the fact that he was able to keep up, and not to mention best Kakashi. Well, they were not trying to kill each other, but still, he placed a kunai at the man's throat. as Naruto had learned how to manipulate his elements and not to mention, use them in a way that no standard ninja used them. And he was just 7 years old. It just goes to show how much advanced he was. However, a problem was coming towards Konoha. An elite group, a group that was trained for infiltration and assassination, was being sent to Konoha by Unki. Said group was being allowed entrance into the village and allowed safe passage by a root agent that we all know was assigned to none other than Danzo. Danzo had a plan here, and that plan involved the death of Naruto Namikaze. So that is why the group was able to meet up at the Valley of the End with the Root Ninjas, as he gave them the necessary information to get in and get the child. So with that, they moved towards the village. Meanwhile, Naruto was at the park as he met up with Sakura. She had slowly became one of his good friends over time, as both of them are helping each other within their relative studies as well. Not to mention, someone else was there. Her name was Hinata Hyuga, a friend of Sakura. Hinata was said to be a prodigy amongst her clan already, as she was embodying the style of her mother and father. Her mother recently having a child, Hanabi. As Hinata was not neglected, but she wanted friends, as she didn't have much friends her age, so it was a good thing when she had met Sakura and able to play with her at the park. As now she had met Naruto, the both of them were clan heirs to respected clans. Because of the power in the majority, the Namikaze clan was now a well-respected clan within Konoha, and there they were as they met for the first time as friends. As Naruto and them were unaware that problem was gonna soon arrive, coming for none other than Naruto. So yeah guys, basically let's left off, you guys can switch across the play of yourself, and also don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 of them guys, which I post what fun every single day for you guys to enjoy, so go ahead check it out and yeah, enjoy. So without further ado or wasting any more time, let's jump right into this. Begin now guys. So Sakura-chan, are you joining the academy? Naruto asks, as the 3 of them sat in the sandbox. Oh yeah, I'll be joining in September. My parents told me that several other clan heirs and heiress will be joining, she said, as both Naruto and Hinata could see that she looked somewhat troubled. Sakura-chan, you seem a bit upset. Has anything happened? Asked Hinata, as she rested her hand on Sakura's shoulder. Naruto smiled as he saw the look of genuine concern on Hinata's face. Oh no, it's nothing, Sakura said, as a few tears started to run down her cheeks. Immediately Hinata engulfed her in a hug as she rubbed her hand on her back soothingly. Jiraiya had once told Naruto that he was probably the foremost sensor in the shinobi world right now. Combined with his senjutsu abilities, Naruto could feel one's emotion in their heart. It was a big compliment coming from Jiraiya, from one who had witnessed the second Hokage sensory abilities in battle. As Naruto closed his eyes, as he dived deep, feeling her emotions out, he felt it: insecurity, timid, approval of friends. As he now understood the reason why she was troubled. She did not believe in herself. She considered herself less important to others, and did not think she could reach out towards her dreams. He opened his eyes as he frowned, seeing her sad. He never liked to see anyone upset. He too rested his hand on her other shoulder as he gave it a gentle squeeze. You would become a great Kunoichi one day, Sakura-chan. I believe in you, said Naruto, as he gave her a warm smile. Her eyes widened hearing that. No one, apart from her parents and Hinata, had ever said that before. She shut her eyes as she thanked the gods for giving her such caring and gentle friends. As she saw Naruto made a gesture for her to come towards him. As she moved closer, Naruto poked her on the forehead lightly, as she pouted. Why do you always do that, Naruto-kan, she said, rubbing the spot. Because it's fun, Sakura-chan, he said. Just the fact that he understood her and made her laugh, that was enough for her. As she wiped the tears away and sat down beside Hinata, as she looked towards her only 2 friends, as she smiled inwardly. I hope everything always stay like this, she thought herself, as Hinata was sitting neatly by herself. The way both Naruto and Sakura reacted was so close, as she wanted to be that close with people as well. Hinata-chan, you two will be joining the academy, won't you? It would be fun if all of us are together, meeting different people and making new friends, wouldn't it? Sakura asked, as Naruto and Hinata wondered how she got a complete change in a split second, but they gave no thought to it. Yes, I will be joining the Shinobi Academy this summer. My father has been training me in our family taijutsu and making me do some physical exercises to better prepare me for the Shinobi world, said Hinata politely. Before they could continue their conversation though, Naruto heard multiple shuriken coming towards them, from the left and the right, at blinding pace. He yelled at the girls to jump away, as they did as Naruto jumped back as well. Not even a few seconds later, the sandbox was littered with shurikens and kunais, pampering it rather roughly. There was dust everywhere in the area, and it blinded the three kids momentarily. Two people quickly jumped out as they grabbed Sakura and Hinata and tied their hands with ninja wire. The two girls gave out a loud shout, but their mouth was stuffed with cloth. As Naruto spun around to see two identical shinobi behind each of them, holding kunais right to their throats. He looked to his left and right as he saw two more shinobis there, their hands on their weapon pouch. He sensed another shinobi behind himself as he cursed himself for not sensing him earlier. A small black mouse, under a tree nearby, quickly ran away, running back towards the caster. Don't even thinking about moving from your position, Namikaze. Naruto heard the voice behind him spoke up. He slowly but carefully turned behind him as he saw the person speaking. The shinobi was wearing all black. It was quite dark as Naruto was hard to see his face. But he was rather tall though, and he was also wearing a hidden stone headband. Judging from their chakra, they're probably Jonin level, and those holding Hinata and Sakura are rock clones, as he had saw them emerge from the ground, and not to mention their low chakra reserves. As Naruto thought of a way to get out of this, why would the hidden stone shinobi come? Father, Naruto realized. As Naruto calmed his features, "What do you want with me?" he said. "Oh, you know, a lot of people were killed by your dear father during the Third Great Shinobi War. It would be only fair if his only child was killed by hidden stone shinobis. Both Minato Namikaze and Madara Uchiha killed a lot of our shinobis in the past. There's a lot of people in our village who would give a lot to see you dead. Killing you will be justice." The man spoke with a twisted smile as he pulled out two kunais. He then sunshined right in front of his earth clones, who was holding Hinata and Sakura in place. Naruto's heart faltered as he gazed into their eyes. Fear, desperation, dread, apprehension, the emotions, he felt them all. He himself was a bit alarmed, but he knew one wrong move and they would be dead. I can't let them die. Naruto trembled at the thought. He couldn't let that happen. Sakura was the only other kid his age that he was a close friend with. And Hinata, he might not have known her for too long, but she had a gentle and kind soul from what he had seen so far. He didn't know why, but she felt different from all the other people that he had met. Even though they only talked for a little while, he considered her to be a friend. She did not deserve to die, not because of him, not because of some foolish man crusade to get revenge. But if revenge is what you call justice, then justice will breed yet again more revenge. Even if you kill me tonight, it will just start another war between our villages. As the shinobi stepped closer to the girls, "Do not hurt them," said Naruto. "Is this the first time you've seen someone close to you on the verge of death, child?" The man asked as he turned to face the blonde. As Naruto averted his eyes and clenched his fists. Why are you doing this? What will you gain by killing them?" Naruto asked. Naruto's eyes met the man's eyes as he stared into them, trying to find some reason behind his actions. But all he found was emptiness, anger, and hatred. He could hear the muffled screams from Hinata and Sakura, yet he could not do anything to help them, as the girls kept on struggling to free themselves. But every time they tried, the wire around their hands got more tightened. The leader looked towards Naruto as he saw the desperation. It reminded him of the time when he saw his parents and friends' lifeless body for the first time. The desperation that makes one cling to a hope that reality might change any minute. But it never did for him, and you would make sure that Namikaze suffered the same fates. "My name is Itana," he said. "My father was a mere chunin in our village. I will honestly say he was an average shinobi, but he always took care of me. He gave me everything I needed. My mother was an academy teacher. She was a great woman. But do you know what happened to them? Do you know how they died?" Itana said, as he glanced up towards the darkened sky. As Naruto remained quiet, as the man turned his head down towards him. "They were killed by your bastard of a father." The yellow flash, he yelled, rage in his eyes. "They were butchered, along with several of their friends. Several of my friends that were sent to the front lines. Thousands of our shinobi were killed by him." Again, Naruto was not able to reply. He knew that Konoha had won the Third Great Shinobi War because of his father, bringing down the defeat on the Hidden Stone. But he was never told in details what he did to make their village come out victorious. As Naruto understood why his father did not now, he could not tell his only child that he butchered thousands of Hidden Stone Shinobis for the village, because of his orders he got from superiors, because that was the only way to make the Rock Shinobis back out from the war. So many parents lost their children, men lost their brothers, sisters, friends. That day it still haunts everyone within your village. Your father shall go through the same pain as them. After I'm done killing you, I think I might take the Hydra girl back to the village. A pair of Byakugan should be invaluable indeed, and she will be of use later on, Itana said, as he traced his index finger along Hinata's neck. Hinata had tears falling down from her eyes upon being touched like that. She didn't know what to do. She felt so afraid, so helpless. Even though she had been trained in the Shinobi arts, no amount of training could ever prepare the young girl for what the Hidden Stone Shinobi was suggesting. She cried in her mind for someone, to anyone, to come and help her. Sadly, no one did. Hearing the man talk about killing Naruto followed by Sakura terrified her. As Sakura started to tremble badly seeing the guy start to trail his hand down Hinata's face. And once I take your head back to Tishikage, you can better be sure that Konoha days will be numbered too. The yellow flash will certainly die by the hands of the Tishikage, Itana said. The more the man spoke, the more Naruto's feeling of rage intensified as his fist was clenched tightly. You asked me what I would gain by killing these girls. You are just a naive child. You still have not witnessed the horrors of the shinobi world. We shinobis are killers. If you do not know the same pain as another, you can never truly understand them. As he pressed the kunai deeper on Hinata's neck, drawing a bit of blood, Hinata cried in pain as she saw her blood dripping. Tell me, do you hate me now? He asked, looking towards Naruto. As Naruto spoke, his voice came out actually calm. Many Konoha shinobis were also killed in the last great war by the Hidden Stone ninjas. Whatever my father did was to protect the village and those he loved. Whatever any Konoha shinobi did in the war was to protect those they love against the enemy. Konoha is not a village made up of buildings. It's made of love, peace, camaraderie, and most of all, the will of fire that is present in each Konoha citizen. This is the essence of Konoha, said Naruto, his eyes closed as he could feel how calm everything were at the moment. Despite his current predicament, he always felt a sense of relief, knowing that his family's village was safe. You ignorant child, there can never be true peace in this cursed shinobi world. True peace is nothing but an illusion. Itana spat out in anger. The two shinobis standing on either side looked at Naruto warily. They were aware of how devastated he was when he heard the news of his parents' and friend death. Even they were saddened on hearing the news, but they had never shown animosity. Such animosity on innocent children, at least. But looking at the blonde Namikaze, they did not feel a hint of remorse on what they were gonna do. Minato Namikaze and Mother Uchiha were both hated within the rock village, for they knew both had forsaken their humanity and butchered thousands of people from their village, and knowing that this boy was their descendant, make him a threat in their eyes. There is no point in overthinking anything, young Namikaze. Come with us without too much trouble, and we just might let the pink-hair girl go. As Naruto looked down towards the ground, there was so much thoughts racing through his mind. Why is there so much hatred in this world? Can there ever be true peace? Can shinobis from other nations ever learn to trust one another? Will the endless killing in this world ever come to a stop? What will it be, Namikaze? I don't have all night. 10 seconds. Otherwise, the pink-hair one dies. To prove his point, he pressed the kunai closer to Sakura's jugular vein, as Naruto did not say anything, as his mind was clouded by those views. He can't lose his father. He loved him the most. He was his world after all. As he looked at Sakura and Hinata briefly, he could not lose them either. They were his friends, his only friends. He would do what is needed to protect those he cared about. He could feel his chakra flowing into his eyes, and at that moment his eyes turned red. As Naruto lifted his head up, Itana took a step back involuntarily. He composed himself right after though, Staring into those eyes, he had never seen one so young and yet so cold before. The Sharingan, the eyes, that reflect the heart. It is said that when a member of the Uchiha clan experience powerful emotion regarding a precious person to them, the brain releases a form of chakra that affect the optic nerve, transforming the eyes into Sharingans. Itana felt like his entire soul was being judged under the gaze of those eyes. He could see the love that he had for his family, the love that he had for the village. As he understood one thing right there and then, Naruto's love for Konoha was much greater than the hatred he had for the leaf. The two shinobi stepped forward as they ready, the kunai in their hands. I know what you're thinking, Naruto, and I will not stop you either. I will be there in case you need any help, Kurama said seriously. I won't let them or anyone lay a finger on the people I care about, said Naruto. Let them go. Otherwise, I'll kill you all, said Naruto. As he started to release his chakra, both Hinata and Sakura saw Naruto's eyes. What was that? Itana said. I said, let them go, Naruto yelled. Naruto brought his fist down and slammed it into the earth, with a large amount of chakra surrounding it. Before the three shinobis could reach Naruto, the entire place erupted by the force. As a result, the place was filled with dust and smoke as the three shinobis lost their footing. The earth clones quickly crumbling to dust as several pieces of rocks crashed into them. Sakura was already unconscious by this point due to the large amount of chakra that was pouring out of Naruto. Hinata was able to hold out for a bit longer before she eventually succumbed as well. Before she did though, she looked back towards Naruto and whispered his name, Naruto. Naruto quickly formed a single hand sign as two clones appeared. Quickly sensing out the girls, they teleported towards them and picked them up as they headed straight towards the Hokage's tower. As the dust started to clear, the three stone shinobis could be seen standing on the far edge of the training ground. Blood was dripping from several places on their body. They were hit by several of the rocks that were sent flying around. The three of them glared at him, but they were shocked how a boy so young could have such monstrous strength. They knew that their mission was compromised now and proper protocol was they should abandon the mission. However, hate is an extremely compelling emotion. It makes one do things that their rational mind would not normally do. The three shinobis pulled out their kunais as they readied themselves. They slowly walked ahead step by step before they started to run straight towards the blonde. As Naruto stood in the middle of the destroyed ground, as the cold dust brushing past him as he stood there, his Totomo Sharingan was glowing brightly within the dark. He saw the stone shinobis coming towards him with kunais in their hands. To any normal shinobi, they would be blurs. However, Naruto could track their every movement. He picked up a kunai beside him that was lying on the ground as he readied himself for what he was about to do. If you don't want to, you don't have to do it, Naruto. I'm sure that Minato would have felt your chakra by now. Even Kurama felt a bit sympathetic towards the blonde. Naruto's love for those he considered family was far too great. The boy reminded him of Indra. Both of them loved their families deeply. Both wanted nothing more than to live peacefully with their loved ones. But this cursed world had changed Indra. The hatred in this world molded the darkness inside of him. He would be damned if he let the same thing consume Naruto. This is something I must do, Kurama. It's true. The shinobi world is pinned to a never-ending cycle of hatred. It's also true people can never understand each other if they never understand each other's pain. But if there's darkness, there's also light. One cannot exist without the other. Not even a second later, the three shinobis leaped forward, two from the left and one straight towards him. As Naruto ducked under Itana's punch as he rolled to the right, he then slammed his fist in the man's ribs. There was a sickening sound of his ribs cracking as he was blasted before slamming right into a tree as he fell unconscious. As Naruto made sure not to kill him immediately, the other two were now looking at him cautiously. Reacting quickly, Naruto backflipped away from a kick as Naruto's Sharingan picked up the third shinobi, throwing his kunai towards him, right towards his heart with flawless accuracy. As Naruto raised the kunai that he was holding and deflected it, just as he was about to jump at the third shinobi, several shurikens were launched towards him. Maneuvering around them with practiced ease, Naruto coated the kunai in wind chakra, keeping the location of the third shinobi in his mind, who was to his right now. Naruto launched a chakra coated kunai straight towards the second shinobi. Due to the dark, it was slightly hard for them to see around themselves. Before the second shinobi could even process what happened, the kunai split through his skull, killing him instantly. As his lifeless body fell to the ground, the third one stopped in his tracks. He looked to his right as he was able to see his friend lying there, with a hole in his skull. Overcome with anger, he runs straight towards Naruto. As Naruto reached up and touched his cheek, as he found tears rolling down, he didn't even know when he had started to cry. As the shinobi were mere inches away from him, Naruto swatted away his attempt to thrust his kunai in his chest. Naruto sidestepped him rather quickly as he made a single hand sign. Behind Naruto, the water in the atmosphere condensed, forming several needle bullets. As the shinobi turned to face Naruto, Naruto muttered the words, water style. Water bullet technique. A painful scream came out of the man as his body was ripped and torn, as he collapsed lifeless on the ground. The water bullet had tore through his body in various places, splattering blood all over. The last thing he had saw was a remorse in the Sharingan eyes. A few splashes of blood fell on Naruto as Naruto slumped down on the ground, tears pooling from his eyes to what he had done. Not even a few seconds later, people landed in a clearing. As they saw, one with a hole right through his skull, another one that was teared up like he had been hit by thousands of needles, like he was some kind of pincushion tear right through. As they found the third shinobi planted in a tree, unconscious, their eyes then moved towards the young boy, who was crying without a sound, the blood dripping from his face and onto the ground, forming a puddle. As Naruto did not even notice when someone laid a hand on his shoulder. Shh, it's alright now, Naruto. Don't worry, I'm here. As the person pulled him into a tight embrace. Time skip. 4 months later. It's been 4 months since the attack on Naruto, and many people's life has changed. The news had spread quickly amongst everyone about the attack. The revelation that Naruto Namikaze, the son of Minato, had killed 2 Jonin level shinobi, incapacitated another, and saved a civilian girl and the Hyuga heiress, had become the talk of the town. Several of the people that glared at him because of the demon has come to change their views because of his actions. The news of Naruto's actions had spread towards other nations as well, despite Minato trying to keep it hidden. The relations between Konoha and the Hidden Stone had further deteriorated because of the event. Konoha had closed off all their trading routes within the Hidden Rain and the grass as well. The only 2 points where the Hidden Stone Shinobis could get to hide in Nakuni, the Fire Country. The fact that the village was willing to send their own shinobi to assassinate the family of Akagi in this time had caused tension to rise between the villages. The temporary peace that had settled over the world after the Third Great Shinobi War was becoming unstable, and the slightest friction between the villages had the possibility of igniting another war. However, the only solace in this was neither Kiri or the San was ready for another war, be it financial or in terms of their military assets. The rumors of an uprising within Kiri caused several people to cut off business with them and stay away from the water country. And despite appearing well, the San has started to struggle in the past few years financially. The Land of Wind daimyo started to outsource missions previously given to the San to Konoha instead. The 4th Kazekage started to sell gold dust to make up for the loss of funding. Even so, the situation did not look well for the Hidden San. Sakura and Hinata had been appalled by what they had gone through that night. Sakura had not stepped out of the house a lot in the past few months. Being a civilian girl, she did not have much outlook on what really took place in the outside world. Minato had provided medical care for her in hopes that she could move past these incidents. Hinata too had been extremely horrified despite being taught about such activities from a young age, as she had been looked after by her family and her escorts had been double. However, the one that had changed the most was Naruto. Ever since he awakened the Sharingan, his demeanor had somewhat changed. He was more reserved and only showed his real self to the people that he trusted. He still smiled around people and engaged himself in conversation if he was approached, but the change was visible to those who knew him on a more personal level. It was different for him to hear the tales about the shinobi world than going through with it himself, taking a life. But he understood why he had to do it. He had no qualms about what he did. He felt rather content that he could protect his 2 precious people. However, he started to develop doubts in his mind about the current shinobi world. He knew from what he was told by his father that the current world right now was a time of temporary peace. As Naruto thought that it would last, he wanted it to last. He just wanted to stay happy in his home with his father and talk with his friends. Why couldn't the people just stay happy with what they have? He had questioned himself on that on several occasions, but he never received any answer. It's time to go home, Naruto. You have been sitting here for far too long, Kurama said. The fox understood the doubts that Naruto had in his mind. He himself held a great hatred towards humans and how they mistreated the Beijus and misguide of the use of the sage religion. However, he also dreaded what would ever happen if Naruto lost himself within the darkness. The boy had power within himself, power that could not be comprehended by human minds. I know. Just a few more minutes, said Naruto, as he stared at the moon from the edge of the river. He had always felt a strange connection to the moon, like it wanted him to observe it more carefully. Lately, he had been visiting the Naka River more often. Every evening he came here after his training, as he just sat here, on his ancestor lands. The Naka River, also known as the River of Southern Joy, is where the Uchihas once lived and prospered. A couple months back, the Uchihas had been moved from their ancestral grounds far back to the west of the village against his father's wishes. Danzo had met with the fire daimyo without Minato knowledge and argued to relocate the Uchihas. He had convinced the daimyo of this action with the help of one of the daimyo's grandson, Senzo. Ever since Danzo did that, Minato had highly restricted his movements within the village, reducing his personal bodyguards and stripped him of his right. As a shinobi, he knew that he could not take further actions against Danzo right now because it might lead to a revolt within the village. Danzo had highly objected to Minato's decisions and said that he had no hand in it. But Minato had threatened to place him in a high security prison. Minato knew that he had every reason to place him in prison or just kill him. But Danzo was still useful to Konoha. He may be a conniving old man that wished for Konoha to rule over everyone else, but he did wish for Konoha's safety. So Minato had kept him in play as long as he did not pose any outward threat to Konoha. Even though the Uchihas were given a reason as proper enhancements within several of the Uchiha compounds in the relocation, the Uchihas were aware of the fact why they were truly relocated. Even almost 8 years after the Grizzly Night, they were still suspected to be under the ones that launched the attack from the Kyuubi. The fact that they can be the ones to control the Beiju with their Sharingan did not vote well for their case. You say that every time, Naruto. You should go home. You're starting the academy tomorrow. You should stop thinking about those shinobis, said Kurama. I know, Kurama, said Naruto. I'm trying. As he got up and wiped off the grass that was on him. As he turned, he noticed Sasuke, who was walking all alone. Judging from the minor burn scratches, Naruto presumed that he was focusing on trying to perform the fireball jutsu for the coming of age, right, which every other Uchiha member must go through to wear the symbol on their back. Sasuke saw Naruto looked at him, as it vexed him somewhat. The both of them was at the same age, but the difference in their skills was vast. Flashback. 2 months ago, Sasuke was practicing a fireball jutsu at the edge of the Naka River. He had been pestering his father to teach him the fireball jutsu for around 2 weeks now. He knew that Itachi was able to perform the jutsu when he was around 6 years old. Sasuke noticed how his father looked at Itachi like he was the only one that mattered. He asked Itachi on several occasions to teach him, but he always get the same answer. Forgive me, Sasuke. Maybe next time. Today his father had finally decided to teach him and he was delighted. Sasuke, are you listening? Said Fukaku. His voice was stern. He had been so lost in his thoughts he did not notice his father was speaking, as he gave a sheepish grin and shook his head. Listen to me intently. I am not going to repeat myself again, said Fukaku. As Sasuke nodded, Fukaku then went on to explain the fundamentals of the basic fireball jutsu. Just as Fukaku was about to show Sasuke the fireball jutsu hand signs, he felt a chakra behind him. He turned to see Naruto standing there with a smile and a note in his hand. Naruto, what brings you here? Said Fukaku in a polite tone. Naruto bowed before him to show his respect to the Uchiha clan leader. Fukaku-sama, my father, wishes to speak with you regarding a very important matter. As Naruto handed the letter to Fukaku, taking the letter from him, Fukaku went through it with a cautious gaze. His face became serious as he finished and placed it inside of one of his jacket pockets. He was about to leave when you remember about Sasuke. As he turned to face the boy, he knew that he did not give that much attention to Sasuke, and he felt guilty about it. But the situation within the clan was getting grave, and the more time passed, the more the elders started to cause more mess, suggesting about their future within the village. Sasuke, do you want to learn the jutsu today? He asked. Yes, father, Sasuke said eagerly. Closing his eyes for a second, he turned back to Naruto, as he asked him to come forward. Naruto, would you help Sasuke in teaching him the fireball jutsu? You know which one I'm talking about. Fukaku requested. Having already feeling what the man was feeling, Naruto accepted, as he had nothing much better to do right now. He figured that he could also become friends with Sasuke while they were training together. But father, you said that you will teach me the jutsu. How can he even perform it? We're both the same age, Sasuke argued. Fukaku sighed as he heard Sasuke's words. While Itachi was calm and collected, Sasuke was more prone to act on his emotions, feeling a bit irked that his abilities were being doubted. Naruto stepped forward towards the edge of the Naka River, gaining the both of their attention, as Naruto made the Tora hand sign before he molded the chakra in his stomach as he brought it up towards his chest. Fire style, fireball jutsu. He then released it. Due to the extreme heat of the fireball, a lot of the water got evaporated. Sasuke's eyes widened as he saw Naruto execute the technique perfectly, as he turned to his father and saw the same look in his father's eyes that he had when he was with Itachi. It made Sasuke frown. Satisfied with his work, Naruto turned and looked towards Sasuke. I can perform the technique perfectly, Sasuke, if you wish. I can help you in learning it. We could become friends also as well, he said, in a kind manner. Deciding to let the two kids settle their arguments, Fukaku sunshine away towards the Namikaze compound to speak with Minato. As Sasuke frowned as he saw his father disappear in a swirl of leaf. So Sasuke, what do you say? Sasuke turned as he glared at Naruto, puffed his cheeks out as he crossed his arms. He then huffed as he walked away, as Naruto was confused, not understanding why he acted that way. In the trees, Itachi had watched the whole thing. You did not have to turn out like this. Foolish little brother, he thought to himself. In the flashback, the entire clan knew how gifted Naruto was, and Sasuke envied him because of that. Naruto was the youngest within the clan to have a fully mature Sharingan. Sasuke also wanted to be noticed, to be something within his brother's eyes, for his father to be proud of him. He glared at Naruto as he saw him there, before he walked away. Seeing that he had nothing else to do, Naruto walked to his home, so that he could rest for tomorrow. The next day, as Naruto woke up to his alarm, last night after he got home he had a decent meal with his father, before he went to immerse himself in his books. He had found a bit interest in Fuinjutsu, which led him to learn a bit about the art. He knew that he couldn't be as elegant in it as his father, however he wished to learn enough, as he had realized that being only strong was not gonna be good enough in this world. He was aware that he was extremely strong, but if he was not smart enough to understand the situation that he was in, a situation where his power could not help him out, he would be as useless as a rookie. And ironically though, he was, in terms of experience. Getting up from his bed, Naruto made his way as he went to the bathroom to freshen himself up. Sometime later, Naruto came out. He was a bit anxious about today. He did not really have much friends apart from Sakura and Hinata. He briefly wondered how the other children in his class would be. Deciding not to put too much thoughts into it, he dressed himself and made his way downstairs. His grey t-shirt and his black pants, as he was wearing his maroon kimono sash with the Uchiha crest on it. Getting downstairs, he saw his father at the table with a cup of coffee as he was reading papers. Even though he was so busy and being the Hokage, he never left him out. He always found time for him. Father, hurry up, said Naruto. We have to go to the academy in a few minutes. Minato smiled watching his son, dressed up for the first day of the academy, despite knowing that there wasn't much that the academy could teach Naruto. But that was not the main reason why he wanted him to join the academy. No matter how powerful one may be, life never feels complete if you did not have one to share it with. Minato wanted to get him to know more people, to make friends. He wanted Naruto to feel that there was more people that he could rely on. I know, Naruto, he said. We'll be going in a few minutes, eat your breakfast, and then we will walk there, said Minato as he ruffled Naruto's hair playfully. As Naruto nodded as he filled his bowl with some milk and cereal. Finishing it quickly, Naruto had a banana and an orange juice. He had learned how to eat more healthy in the past few years, but he still went to Ichiraku ramen every now and then, as he could not give up ramen no matter what. With that done, the both of them made their way towards the academy. As they headed there, many people greeted Minato and waved towards Naruto, as Naruto was surprised by the sudden change in many people's behavior. Ever since he could remember, these people glared at him and spoke behind his back, and now the same villagers smiled at him like nothing had ever happened. He knew that it was mainly because he saved Hinata, the heiress of the Hyuga clan, but that made him wonder how shallow people could actually be. However, he also understood their feelings, their inner conflicts. To the civilians, he is a living reminder of what they lost on the night of the Kyuubi attack. They did not hate him, they despised the Kyuubi for taking away their loved ones. But he wanted to change that. He wanted for people to understand the Bijus, that they too are the victims here, the victim of this cycle of hate and greed. Minato felt relief that the people of Konoha started to accept Naruto. He knew what Naruto did changed him in some ways as well. There is no greater pain for a parent to watch your child suffer and be helpless about it. In a way, he was thankful towards Oniki. He knew that it was wrong to even think that, but he was glad that the people started to see Naruto in a hero's view, something which his son was meant to be. Both the Namikazes were minutes away from the academy when an old woman greeted them. "Hello, Naruto-sama. It's good to see you this day with Hokage-sama. Today is the day that you're joining the academy, correct? You don't have to call me Naruto-sama. You are older than me, and it would not suit you well. Please just call me Naruto." Naruto replied with a happy smile as the lady nodded. He could feel that she wished for him to do well, and that delighted him. "And yes, I will be joining the academy today. I am really excited," said Naruto, with a big smile. "That's good to hear, Naruto-kun. Well, good luck and do your best. I'll be rooting for you," she said, as Naruto waved goodbye with a kind smile. Time skip. At the academy, Naruto was becoming anxious as they got there, wondering if Sakura and Hinata were joining. He remembered they say that they would, but after the incident he wasn't so sure. He wanted them to join so that he could at least know someone there. As Minato felt Naruto's hand shake, knowing that he was nervous, the nervousness of making friends, he chuckled, as he too had the same thought on the first day. As he knelt in front of Naruto, "It's gonna be okay, Naruto," he said. "It's your first day in the academy, and it's okay to be nervous. Trust me, even I was," he said, causing Naruto to chuckle. "What's so funny?" said Minato. "Nothing, it's just hard to find you nervous about anything. You're so brave and confident all the time," said Naruto. "You have known many times how many times I've been nervous in my life, Naruto. Now come on," he said. "You don't want to be late on your first day, now do you?" As he saw Naruto slightly panic, as Naruto nodded as he ran off, waving goodbye to his father. Minato smiled as he watched Naruto go off inside the building. If only you could see him now, Kushina. How our son has grown so much, Minato thought. He waited outside for a few minutes before he disappeared towards the tower. As Naruto made his way inside, as he found the teacher standing there, as he saw kids already inside, as they were looking at him. The classroom was large and had high ceilings. As the man turned towards him, as Naruto's eyes scanned over the air and he saw Sakura in the second row and Hinata sitting in the last one. "And who might you be?" the man said. "I'm Naruto Namikaze. I'm also a student that entered the academy this year," Naruto said politely. The man smiled towards Naruto, as many students started to whisper, "Namikaze? He's the fourth Kage's son. I heard he's really strong. Whoa, his long hair and whisker marks make him look really adorable." Several of the girls started to mutter, as Naruto didn't know what to say as he waited for the man to say something. "Well, I am Aruka Mino, and I'll be your teacher for the next 4 years. You may take any free seat available." As Naruto nodded towards his new sensei, the man had a scar across his nose, dark hair and dark eyes, as he was wearing the standard uniform for a ninja. Aruka was someone that had been deeply hurt by the fox attack. His parents were killed in the attack after all, and he was angry. Much so. However, he heard of what Naruto did regarding the Hyuga girl saving her life, and he had decided to keep his views to himself until he could witness the boy firsthand. As Naruto turned around to see many of the girls looking at him, as he felt uneasy, as he found a seat in the empty, far right top row, as he made his way up there, as there was a boy sitting to the other side, dark eye, dark hair, His face was blank, and his skin looked a bit pale. As Naruto felt out his chakra, deep down Naruto could feel that the boy had a lot of pain. As Naruto turned towards him, "I'm Naruto," he said, extending his hand. The boy turned and looked at him for a long while. His face was blank as a canvas though. "Sigh," he said, as he held Naruto's hand. As Naruto smiled faintly at the thought of making a new friend. Seeing that everyone took their seat, Haruka glanced around towards all of them with a critical eye. This will be the first time so many clan ears are in one class. This will be an interesting class, Haruka thought. "Alright class, as you know, I am Haruka Mino. You may call me Haruka Sensei. I will be your teacher for the next 4 years. Another teacher, Mizuki, will also assist me in teaching you guys. Since today is our first day, we will start with some history lessons, and then move on to taijutsu lessons outside. After that, we will begin with the theory on chakra." So he began with the history of Konoha, with the first Hokage. Even though Naruto knew this part, he listened to it same way. Some of the students groaned, as they said it was rather uncool. As Naruto was confused by their behavior, he has always been taught that history was an important part to learn. It was also a good task for Shinobi to learn the history of the area they were going to be traveling to. After an hour had passed, Naruto found many of the students were really uninterested in what Haruka was saying. A chubby boy was munching down on a bag of chips. A pineapple hair boy was sleeping. As he looked at Sakura, who was sitting next to a platinum blonde-haired girl. Hinata was sitting next to a boy with a puppy on his head. Judging by the look on her face, Naruto guessed that Hinata also knew the topic as well. His eyes then landed on Sasuke, who was sitting in a few rows below him. He could not see his face, but Naruto could swear that he had a little scowl. He just felt it. Once the theory had ended, Haruka ordered them to follow him outside. As Naruto was excited now, it was time for the taijutsu exercises, and he wanted to see how everyone fared. He knew that he was ahead of them in taijutsu, but that did not mean they didn't have any knowledge on the art. As Haruka called out all their names, Naruto was surprised that several of them belonged to major clans within Konoha. As he saw a few kids over to the side, they must have known each other before coming to the academy. He turned towards Sai as he was standing there. His face was just blank. As Naruto walked over toward the small group, "Hey there," he said. "I'm Naruto." "Oh, I'm Kiba Inuzaka, and this is Akamaru," said Kiba, as the puppy barked. As Shikamaru was lazily looking at the sky when he noticed Naruto looking towards him. He found the introduction stuff to be quite troublesome, but he knew he had to do it. Similar to most members of the clan, he was rather lazy. "I'm Shikamaru Nara," he said. "It's nice to meet you," as he yawned. Making Naruto nod as he turned toward Chubby One. "I'm Choji, I can meet you," the boy said, as he munched on his chips. "I'm Shinu Aberami," sporting the same look as his clan as he was covered up, wearing his glasses as well. "It's really nice to meet all of you," said Naruto. "I'm just so surprised there are so many clan ears in our class." "How did you know that we're clan ears?" Shikamaru asked. "I remember my father telling me about the class a bit, few days before the academy started. I also read a lot about the history of Konoha, which the prominent main clans were the main topic. Like the Nara clan you come from, Shikamaru. It's known for producing geniuses, and the most well-known being your father, Shikaku Nara, who is a Jonin commander. And Choji clan is known for their immense physical strength, with their expansion jutsu. And they own several businesses with Konoha restaurants. Kiba belonged to the Inuzaka clan, that is known for their tracking abilities and taijutsu style. They are also known with their partnership with their dogs, similar to the Aberame with their bugs who specialize in using their bugs for all kind of cool jutsu," said Naruto. At the end of his explanation, the four of them were staring at him, but they were also glad in the way that he described their clans. Choji was happy that Naruto did not talk about his size or weight. Kiba was happy that Naruto was aware of how great the Inuzakas were, and Shino gave a quiet nod in acknowledgement. As Naruto started to ask them how they know one another, Shikamaru was quietly observing Naruto as he spoke. He heard his mother spoke about the Hokage's son, killing 2 Jonins and rescuing the clan heir. At first he was hard to believe that, but the way Naruto kept himself, he kept an eye on his surroundings. Maybe it was true. Well, it had to be. After all, why would so many people lie? "Alright, everyone listen up," he said. It was Haruka that spoke up, as he started to bring them into the fold about the taijutsu. Time skip. 2 years and 2 months later. It has been 2 years now since Naruto had started at the academy. He has been through a lot, meeting new friends, befriending them, and he was on his journey to actually becoming a shinobi for the village. He became good friends with Shikamaru, Choji, Shino, and Kiba in the past few years, as Kiba taught the most and Naruto found him to be a fun person to hang out with. Shikamaru and Choji were mostly seen together, as Naruto tried to hang out with Shikamaru's style of watching clouds and relaxing, and Naruto found it quite relaxing. Even though Shino did not speak much, Naruto had involved him several times in their talks, as Shino was very grateful for that. Usually, most people forget the Aburame members because of how quiet they were. He also met Ino Yamanaka, who was childhood friends with Shikamaru and Choji. He found her to be a bit weird. She would always try to find a way to speak to Sasuke, and Sasuke just did not care that much about any of them in the class. But she found it to be cool and mysterious. As for Naruto, Sakura, and Hinata, they had gotten closer in the past few years. They trained outside the academy, studied together, and did their homework together. They had spoken about how their life had changed, their beliefs about the shinobi world, how it was altered after the incident. And there were times where Hinata and Naruto had to console Sakura, as sometimes she had terrifying nightmares about that. Naruto and Hinata also got closer as well. Ever since the incident, the Hyuga clan had come to respect Naruto immensely. Both Minato and Naruto was invited over for dinner on several occasions. During class, Naruto sat with both girls, some of the time, as that seemed to get in the glare of several girls, well, not him, but they were glaring at his two friends. As for Sakura, she didn't know what it was, but seeing Naruto and Hinata getting close, she had this strange feeling. But she didn't want to find out what it was because she was afraid that it might harm their friendship. But she didn't know what this feeling was. It was a bit uncomfortable. Whenever she saw them close together, it was weird. Naruto also had asked his father why the girls were always staring at him, and why they seem upset when he hung out with Sakura or Hinata. His father had simply chuckled and ruffled his hair, as he told him that it was not something that he can avoid. And true to his father's words, the girls started to chase after him and follow him secretly. They are what you call fangirls. Thus, as for shinobi ranking, Naruto was always number one. It didn't matter what, he was always number one. Whether it be taijutsu, ninjutsu, tactics, thinking, written tests, genjutsu, he was always number one. Sasuke was always second, and his grudge with Naruto was still there, still high as ever. However, Naruto did not like the academy training. The things that they were being taught there would not help them to survive in the outside world. They would not be strong enough. Many of the girls who were in the class were obsessed with boys, believing that they would be their hero, knight in shining armor. It's like they don't understand that the world is filled with dangerous people that will harm them if they're not ready, and the academy was not helping. He spoke to his father about that, and Minato told him that the stress for pushing out academy students were reduced a lot, seeing that they were in a temporary time of peace. But Minato too had known the curriculum was not at the level it should be. Furthermore, with the situation with the Hidden Stone, there was a lot of uncertainty in the future. Thus, from year 3 going on, he was changing things up in the academy, as he was going to make some big difference. Naruto snapped those thoughts out of his mind, as he decided to head off, as he was making his way towards the academy, starting a fresh new day, as he was now 10 years old. Despite everything that he was not learning much at the academy, it was still something that he needed, as he was making friends and getting to know a lot of people, as his mind ran on Sakura and Hinata as well, as he couldn't wait to see them and his other friends, unaware that they were thinking the same thing, that being Hinata and Sakura as well, as Sakura would soon come to understand why she was feeling that way, and it was gonna be a problem. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification they posted. And don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new movie of What If Naruto Was a Magical Creature over on Anime King, guys. A brand new crossover between One Piece and Naruto, so go ahead and enjoy that. And yeah, without further ado, I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.